When you need to see the bigger picture, sometimes it's best to return to your roots. Assassin's Creed Origins takes its thinking to heart and steps into the seamless and dynamic open world of ancient Egypt. Although this move shows glimmers of a brighter future for the series, it also becomes clear that its core gameplay and presentation have some difficulties keeping up with the newfound pace and scale. Blurring the lines between prequel and sequel, Assassin's Creed Origins takes us back to the beginning of the Assassin Brotherhood, while also laying the groundwork for a new present-day storyline. Set during the time of the Ptolemaic Kingdom in Egypt, you take on the role of Bayek, a Magi ranger who embarks on a quest for revenge against a mysterious order that predates the Templars. He'll sneak, loot, and stab key figures in the social and political worlds of Egypt, leading to unforeseen consequences for the future of the kingdom, right up to the present-day events.
They tore me from my throne.
And why should I care about them?
The snake has many heads. Those heads make up the order.
In its 30-hour main story, you'll travel to a number of areas across Egypt, meeting different allies and villains with their own agendas. While references to significant characters and events from other games are present, they take a back seat to the twin narratives of Origins, particularly to that of Bayek and his companions, as they lay the foundations of their creed in Egypt. Moving steadily away from the somewhat identical formula of past Assassin's Creed games, where you gradually move out to different hub areas and tackle largely isolated missions, Origins gives you a greater level of freedom and agency in a more seamless world, where you take part in activities at your leisure. With each region possessing several points of interest, veering off the path to find sights unseen can yield valuable loot, history about the world, and other secrets that tie into something greater. While some locations share a few too many similarities in style and general landscape, and others are frustratingly sparse with content and activity, the world is beautifully realized with great attention to detail, which houses a number of AI systems that play off one another. From the flocks of birds that rise in unison while running through marshlands, to the crocodiles that pluck sailors off their boats trekking through the many rivers, the aesthetic and world design of Assassin's Creed Origins is one of the series' finest achievements. It thankfully makes good on the potential of its setting, showing off the clash of ideologies and cultures during Ptolemaic Egypt and giving it life in a number of surprising ways. Illustrating the conflict between Greco-Roman and Egyptian influences, the core narrative and side stories are engaging and feel meaningful, even tackling issues of racism, colonialism, and the systemic misogyny of the times. This is especially relevant to Bayek, who is himself an outsider in many of the locations he travels to, and as a result witnesses some of the abuse firsthand. Origins deftly handles its overall tone by balancing moments of heartbreak and earnestness, such as side stories dealing with greedy landowners poisoning lower-class citizens, with moments of levity, like when Bayek entertains children across the many cities in Egypt.
I believe you can do anything, Bayek.
Unfortunately, several technical hiccups and bugs crop up, which can really disrupt the flow of the experience. During our playthrough of the Xbox One X and PS4 versions, instances of texture pop-in, noticeable frame rate dips during cutscenes and gameplay, and odd graphical issues impact moments and events that should be meaningful. These issues unfortunately persist throughout, slightly dragging down the otherwise incredible setting. Origins also makes some overhauls to the style and tone of combat. Trading steel with enemies now feels more active and involved, thanks to its dynamic strikes and real-time blocking and parrying. While certain traces of the series' group-oriented action remain, combat focuses more on the smaller skirmishes, where you pick your moments and strike at the right time. Moreover, ranged combat has also been improved, adding greater maneuverability and accuracy, including a useful slow-mo aim while leaping through the air. Though this new approach to combat initially feels like an improvement all around, making battles more engaging and involved, some of these changes give rise to problems that can make them a drag. While combat is solid when fighting a limited number of enemies, things quickly turn south when more enemies are added into the mix, turning bigger battles into clunky affairs. This is especially problematic with a lock-on camera that follows the action far too closely, turning battles that could be tactical and fierce into disorienting and clumsy encounters. In some cases, it felt better fighting without lock-on enabled, to better keep track of what's going on. This clumsiness is even present in the stealth system, which is more awkward than it was in past games. Somehow, slower and deliberate movement can feel unreliable due to controls that feel less accurate and unresponsive. Bayek can sometimes hitch onto ledges and other objects when he gets close enough, frequently resulting in accidental exposure to enemies. Sneaking feels undermined by these problems, whether it comes from enemies seeing through objects, or instances where AI partners routinely walk into danger. Stealth is often more of a hassle than it's worth, making it one of the weaker aspects of Origins. Assassin's Creed Origins attempts to blend the established stealth action elements with the mechanics of an action RPG, but these two halves don't always coalesce. By including stat building and a loot grind, it creates needless level gating for areas of the map. This results in time spent grinding to acquire vital skills and resources, and in the broader sense can feel like artificial padding. This in turn conflicts with the feeling of being a skillful assassin who uses his resources to maneuver through enemy hideouts on his wits, and then finding out your assassination won't work due to an underpowered hidden blade.
Hey, what? That's it. Die!
While Assassin's Creed Origins reaches great heights in its new setting, it routinely runs into issues that bog down the overall game. Technical issues make for an uneven experience, and its new gameplay pillars wobble under the weight of its systems. But despite this, the world of Origins remains fresh and exciting to explore, which is a testament to the remarkable setting and compelling story. Assassin's Creed as a series has undergone many changes in its long and storied history, and Origins feels like the first step in the start of something new. It has its fair share of problems, but the vision for its future is one worth pursuing.